was almost embarrassing growing up. I didn't want to be Māori. I remember, Moana saying she used to hate having a Māori name. And I know that this is a pretty common story for lots of families.
That's really interesting, and I don't want to take away from what you're here talking about tonight, but a friend of mine who was Maori, and she was on the show, same thing, her father, who was Māori, took her away down to the South Island because he didn't want her to know that she had, which was quite sad, and she said until she had, years later when she went into the Navy, she didn't realise that she was Māori until people pointed it out, and that's really sad.
It's sad. It's common. It's a common story. My story is very common. I mean, so I was almost embarrassed. Didn't want to really have much to do with it. It was, you got teased and stuff, but so it wasn't until I was in my 30s when I learnt how to free. It's actually kind of all connected. When I learnt how to freedive, and I learnt how to freedive because I was so burnt out because of the work that I was doing and dealing with death and dying every day, and everything was getting pretty hectic. I learnt how to freedive, and then at the same time I was learning more about the cultural stuff within my profession, and it all kind of came together, and I just started reconnecting with my Māoritanga when I was more connected to the ocean and the environment around me. So I felt more confident to be Māori in the ocean.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because even if you didn't, I don't know, for me, if you don't have many Māori don't have their language anymore, and so you don't feel Māori enough in lots of ways, and so and there's so much that's associated with it. It's too big of a topic to even really get into, but reclaiming that your language and your identity and all that kind of stuff is quite traumatizing in itself. But I think that the environment can help you do that, whether it's freediving or walking in the bush, or I don't know, climbing a tree, or having, I don't know, going hunting, or whatever it is. For me, it was freediving and the ocean, where I felt I could just be me, and I didn't need to explain to someone I'm this percent this or this percent that, or do you know what I mean? I don't know. I felt whole there, and that's what I think with Salt Aotearoa. It's, I mean, on the surface it's kind of a freediving thing, but actually for me it's so much more deep than that. It's somewhere where people can learn to connect with themselves.
I was going to say, do you think it's like a coming home
to
who you are, your spirit?